Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And I'm going to try to make this super quick. I was listening to this video. Well, actually, I saw a article earlier today. I think I had the article pulled up. From Insider Paper. It says, in social media anonymity, whatever, to fight fake crimes, to fight fakes and crimes, says Spain PM, all right, which stands for Prime Minister. So it says Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez on Wednesday proposed ending anonymity for social media users, enforcing tech tycoons to provide accountability in their platforms poison society. All right, so basically, which I'm gonna let you hear what he says. Basically, he is saying that he is proposing that the European digital ID be linked to social media platforms so that everybody that uses social media platforms in the EU will have their identity directly linked to their channels or usernames. Okay, and then this is, and of course the way that they position it, they're trying to make it seem as though this is something that is better for humanity to end. If they deem hate speech and what else he says? Misinformation. That's always been, that's always the talk, right? It's as it says here. It says Sanchez said social media users must link their accounts to a form of ID to crack down on misinformation, hate speech, harassment, and bots that proliferate under the cover of anonymity. All right, and for some reason I feel like I'm saying that word wrong, but just bear with me. So I'm going to play this real quick. Let's hear what he says.
I would like to advance three ideas, three measures that I will propose to all European leaders in the next formal council meeting that will take place in Brussels. First, I propose putting an end to anonymity on social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions. Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity, because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet.
You hear that? Force every user, every social media platform to force every user to link their identity to their digital identity. What is it called? A European digital identity wallet. Okay. So as you read in here, just reiterating what it says all platforms should link every account to a European digital identity wallet to hold potential criminals responsible, he continued. Regulators should be able to force open the black box of social media algorithms, and tycoons should be held responsible if their algorithms poison our society. See? So this right. Oh, then he says this: let's stop those who want to turn them digital platforms into a weapon for dismantling our democracies. Let's make social media great again. He concluded a play on Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again." So as you see, this is a push that is being rapidly spoken about, and especially in these World Economic Davos meetings, because this is something that they are definitely going to bring forth to the world. Okay, and the more you have the talks of misinformation, right, the more they come out with things are happening on social media. People are being what they call radicalized on social media, X, Y, and X, Y, and Z, things like that. The more they're going to say that it's justifiable to have everybody, take away anonymity, right, on social media, and have all these platforms link every account to a digital identity wallet, right? And that's just one, key, all right, or one point to this digital identity wallet that all of these countries are speaking about, right? Because this all points towards what the Charagma, right, the MOTB, because that MOTB is going to be your identification, right, in your medium of exchange for buying and selling. It's going to have your medical information on it, right? It's going to have your traveling information on it. See? So this is their solution to this problem of anonymity, right? Let's go into that word. Is the state of being unknown or non-identifiable. And you can tell that these elites, they don't want that. They don't want people to be unidentifiable, right? They want to be like the Most High, as the scripture says. They want to be able to identify everybody, going back to the whole social credit score system, which Klaus Schwab said that he sees China as the model, right? And China already has a social credit score system set up, in their country. All right. So when these things start to take shape and take form, and it's not going to be, the whole world at once, right? You're going to have certain parts, of certain countries, continents that are going to move toward this first, and then they'll be used as, pilot programs and seeing how people, seeing how it goes there. But eventually it is going to spread throughout the whole entire earth, because if they say, okay, in Europe, right, social media platforms have to force their citizens, right, the citizens that use it in Europe, have to, in order to use it, they have to link their European digital wallet to YouTube or to Twitter or to Instagram. Then those individuals that use it in Europe, they won't be able to unless they do that. Now the thing about that is the men of the Lord, right? the men that are out in Europe, and like I said, it's not going to just be in Europe, but we just use that for an example. The men that are out in Europe, the teachers, they're not going to be getting a digital ID, right, so that they can upload videos on YouTube, right? And that right there in itself would be a form of the famine of the word taking place, because at the end of the day, that is prophecy that must be fulfilled, and the Lord is clearly having it to where he's this devil is shaping and forming society to where it's going to be damn near impossible, right, to preach this word freely. All right, because they're saying, which they already deemed the the truth, as this misinformation and hate speech, right? So they're saying that if you're out here, spewing what they deem as these things, then now they're going to be able to track you because your identity is going to be tied to your channel or to your username. Okay? Which we're not out here hiding, anyway. We do live streams, you see our faces. It's not as if, as Yahweh Shah said, that we never said anything in secret. But at the end of the day, brothers are not going to, tie themselves into this digital ID system, right? Especially, having to get a digital wallet and all these things, right? Amos 8 verse 11, it says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not of bread, Salakia, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing of the words of the Lord." You see? So as you see it, it says a famine of hearing the words of the Lord, because the word of the Lord has gone out to who needs to hear it, and it's already within the ones that are supposed to receive it and be sealed. So when this starts to take shape on the earth, that means that the ones who the Lord wanted to hear this word so that they could be sealed, right? They could have that seal in their foreheads. They already heard it. So therefore, it will no longer be necessary for the words of the Lord to be heard. Okay? And people don't realize when that takes place, that's not going to be something that is beneficial for the earth. Okay? It's actually going to be detrimental when the men of the Lord stop speaking, or when you stop hearing the words of the Lord, because then now it's now just the actions of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah that's going to be on the earth. Right? Ezekiel 3 verse 26, it says, and I will start at 25. It says, "But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them." And this is a form of the way that these devils are putting bans on us, right? They're banning us from being able to use these platforms to teach, because they're saying, well, you can still use these platforms, but you gotta have your identity linked to this digital wallet. All right. And like I said, brothers is not going, because you even got on YouTube now, and I'm not saying that it's a wicked if brothers do so, but I know on YouTube it's been, it asks you if you want to identify yourself, so you can have an unlimited post or more ability to do more live streams and things like that. And I know for me and then brothers in my camp, nobody has done that, right? We're not going to be giving you devils easy or offering up ways for us to be identified, in your digital system, right? That whole biometrics BS. Nah, that's not something that we're just going to be, we're just going to be down with that, because we understand what that ultimately is leading to. See? So it says, verse 26, and I will make thy tongue cleave unto the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. All right, because what are the prophets' duty? To show Israel their transgressions, Jacob their transgressions, the house of Israel their sins, right? To show Israel the way to repentance, right? But that's only for the elect, and that's a small number, because to hell with the rest of our people that don't want to repent, because you're not going to receive it, through the mercy and the compassion of the Lord by hearing the words of the prophets anyway. So the Lord said is going to come to a point where he's going to make our mouths shut, right? Because that's what that, is metaphorically talking about. Thy tongue cleaving to the roof of thy mouth, meaning that we're no longer going to be out here speaking, right? You're no longer going to hear the prophets on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram, because you see right now a lot of people is making jokes, laughing, right, coming up against us, these so-called Christians, making parodies. You got Israelites that are out here claiming to be in the truth, and they're making parodies and comics, trying to get famous off of making fun of the truth. All right, well, you can keep doing that, but you're gonna realize how precious this truth has really been when the Lord takes us off of the streets. Right, when he takes us off of the internet, because when that takes place, all hell breaks loose. Okay, and you're going to be looking for the truth. You're going to be looking for the reasonings of why things are happening, and you're not going to find it. Right, as it says here in the book of Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 9, it says, and salt water should be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another, because you're going to have all out hell on these streets, man. People are going to be fighting each other. Neighbors are going to be fighting each other. Friends are going to be fighting each other like enemies. See? It says, then shall wit hide itself, and with and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chambers. And how is the Lord going to do that? Wisdom, as it says in the book of Sirach, was created with the faithful in the womb. See? And that's starting with the prophets, the men of the Lord, the ones who the Lord has put the Spirit on to teach this wisdom, right? Which is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? So when the Lord takes that off of the earth, when it hides itself only amongst those secret chambers, which are the elect that has this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the words, the truth, people are going to be looking for it, because there, as it says here, I'm gonna read it in the GNT. It says, then understanding will disappear, and reason will go into hiding, and they will not be found, even though many may look for them. See, people are going to be looking for the reasoning on why things are taking place, because with reasoning comes, the ability to aid the fear that you're having, when you're just in a distressed situation. When you know the reason why you're in this situation, when you know the reason why things are happening, it aids your mind. It calms your mind. And we have that reasoning through the scriptures. So that's why even with them pushing out this taking away anonymity, from social media platforms, we already know the reasoning why that's going to happen. All right. But, I just wanted to touch on that because I thought, found that interesting. And, every time these devils get together, especially at these Davos meetings, they their tongue falls upon them. Right. And the Lord has set up the watchmen to, catch these things and hear these things and bring it out, because these are signs that we are closer and closer to that famine of the word, closer and closer to where these videos won't be published on the YouTube anymore. Right. You won't be able to find it on TikTok or Instagram and social media platforms. Right. Hey, you might find still, some of these other, false prophets that, get the digital ID wallet. But that's not going to be the truth. That's going to, bring forth the make you wise into salvation, because they ain't pushing the correct name. They're not pushing the correct doctrine. And ultimately, if they are down with the digital wallets, then they are not pushing, that the charagma is that micro C-hip, and that's all linked together. You're only going to get that truth from the men of the Lord, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the ones who are teaching that doctrine. So with that, Lord willing, I'm gonna end it there. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakak Kodash. Shalom.